Dia of. Okay, we're on to the next video. Ifra Kuig, I believe. Video Ifra Kuig on WYDA. Giving you a breakdown of my understanding of WYDA right now. Okay. If I was to actually try and summarize what a Druid was in modern day, I would actually gander that it was something like a physiotherapist, psychotherapist, music teacher, but who really used nature. So herbalists would use trees as archetypes to describe where you are or where you might be in a journey, to describe energy, and use metaphorical language around nature to describe where you are in order to facilitate metabolization or integration or growth. The book mentions an oak potion and compares it to batch flower therapy. So oak leaves are placed in clear spring water for several hours at midday during full moon. The leaves are then removed. There's no residue left behind, and that was drank. It also mentions that plant medicines were not the only, nor were they the secret method. They were part of the whole process. So working with native herbal plants, medicinal plants that are just so abundant in Ireland, which is absolutely amazing, and all across Europe as well, which is amazing. I want to emphasize again the aspects of nature, which was used as a kind of a metaphorical representations of people. So, for example, the oak was wise, mentally and physically strong person. The beech was a physically strong person with high physical abilities. So that is a very that is an element of the book that's only touched on. It doesn't go into great details, but I'll give you some examples of that. So any tree that grows big and tall and mighty has to have deep, wide, mighty roots. And when a tree grows, or when any plant grows, its roots grow. And the roots are in the cold, in the wet, in the dark. They go down and they go out to the side. Okay, so that is an element of, to me, of an understanding of growing in the darkness in order to be a strong foundation to then be able to be strong in the light, which is above the ground. Now, that would be very much so this whole, the integration of the shadow. Okay, the integration of the shadow. And to me, in Celtic culture and Irish culture, certainly, it is so beautiful, the amount of shadow that is there, the acknowledgement of the shadow, which I think is just amazing. And so much there to teach us. A very simple example of that is, when I was younger, I used to be afraid of the dark. And so I'd sleep with a little light on in the room. Or I might leave the door open a little bit. And as I got a little bit more confident in the dark, I learned that no, I don't need the light anymore. I can turn off the light and I can sleep in the dark. Now that is me integrating the shadow, or that is me going beyond the veil of the fear of the darkness, and understanding that that serves some kind of purpose. There is more uncertainty in the dark, yes, but in the given scenario, once I feel safe and accepted in that scenario and comfortable in that scenario, the fear of being in the dark doesn't serve me anymore, and I go beyond it, or I've metabolized it. That is a small metaphor that I've used to apply to many other things. Okay, and I'll apply that to some really big concepts in the world, things that are going on in the world, where I look at that and I could say, okay, this is here to be metabolized. And one of the most beautiful things that I've ever heard, and I can't tell you who told me this, but one of the most beautiful things I ever heard was from someone who said, with all of the dark, with all of the things that are going on in the world that are just so unimaginable, there must be a light or a lesson so great in all of that, and that lesson or whatever that is really going to make such a difference, such a difference for everybody in the world. And I'm here and I am learning, and I am, as a learner, when I am learning, when I am in learning mode, I feel I have everything I need. And that to me, that learning mode to me is, to this point here, this mental flexibility. And the mental flexibility is around not pigeonholing myself into one idea, but also not blaming someone who might be pigeonholed in one idea also. If you understand the quantum, is it a wave? Is it a particle? It becomes a particle when I observe it, but it's a wave when I'm not observing it. The observation makes a difference. And I think for me, that has been the case also. I will speak about that in another video. But this mental flexibility is really important. And I had a wonderful discussion on Instagram one time with a friend about the box. Why would you want to live in the box or be in the box? And one of my arguments is that a lot of people, the box is normality and outside of the box is weird. I think a lot of people will go into the box and kind of be in the box and be kind of like, oh, the box, okay, we're all here in the box. We're doing the normal thing. But kind of be in there to say, oh, by the way, there's a little doorway over here. Oh, what's behind this doorway? And then we'll walk out of the box and maybe bring a couple of people out of the box with them. And then all of a sudden there's more people that are outside the box in what might have been thought to have been the weirdness. But the people who are in the box now come to realize what it's like being outside the box and can see the box and kind of realize that, oh, okay, that's in a box and I'm not in the box anymore. It's nice not to be stuck in the box. So that is around the mental flexibility, but keeping an open mind to growth, and not pigeonholing ourselves into any one box. Okay. A lot of the teachings and the exercises are around moving stuck energies, or processing energies, or metabolizing energies. Anger is a great example. Sadness is a great example. Grief, great example. The processing of that, and the exercises being an aid or a way to do that. And once they are processed or metabolized, there is a lesson or a wisdom that comes with that. Lastly, there is wholeness again is really important. And I wouldn't even say it's directly targeting the root, it's targeting almost the soil. We think of, don't treat the symptom, treat the root of the symptom. But what if we treat the soil that the root is in, and then that changes everything altogether? Sinead, gur míle maith agat. Slán.